When you face your fears, they'll melt away because quite often what you fear actually makes things a lot worse than they really are. And sometimes our fears get the better of us, and that fear feeds on itself, making us even more fearful. Now, sometimes our fears are well-founded, but most of the time they're irrational. And the way to overcome them is by using a technique called fear setting. And this means facing your fears and seeing that they're groundless, although you must exercise some caution though. Now, I'm not suggesting that you overcome your fear of heights by throwing yourself off a cliff, as you'll probably die. But going up to the observation deck of a skyscraper isn't going to do you any harm. Once you're up there and you find that nothing bad happens, then there's a good chance you're going to overcome your fear of heights. Now, let me give you an example of fear setting in action. Let's say you have a fear of public speaking. Let's say you're afraid you'll stutter or you'll be really nervous and you'll fumble your lines and people will laugh at you. Okay, so let's look at the basis for this fear in detail. First of all, why would you stutter? Do you usually stutter when you talk? And why do you think people would laugh? Are people usually that unkind? And what is it that you're really afraid of? Now, it may well be that you're not a confident public speaker and you are afraid that you're going to make a fool of yourself and you'll find it very embarrassing. You'll get up there and people will laugh at you. They'll think you're foolish. They'll think you're stupid, and you're going to feel really small and really embarrassed. In which case, you need to ask yourself something else. Does it matter? Well, if you're giving a presentation to your boss and potential clients, then yes, it matters a great deal. But if you're just talking to a bunch of people you're never going to see again, then it doesn't matter. So the first thing that you need to do to overcome that fear of public speaking is to practice your delivery. So you want to write a script, and then you want to read it out loud so it's word perfect. And you want to go through and correct it and make it really easy for you to say so that you're not going to fumble, you're not going to stutter, everything is going to flow smoothly. And the next thing to do is to practice speaking to yourself in front of a mirror. It's a good idea to do it when there's nobody else around. It's just you and the mirror, and you're practicing your delivery, and you're getting used to standing there, and you're getting used to actually saying these words out loud, just into the air. So once you've done that, the next step is going to be to speak to a group of people who you know will be kind and supportive. So to your partner, to your friends, and just get them to give you some positive feedback. And if things don't go quite well, you know they're going to be kind and supportive. You know they're not going to laugh at you. You know it's not going to be embarrassing. Then you're going to do the same thing to a different group, and then another one, and then another one, and so on. You simply rinse and repeat until you're confident. Then you deliver your speech or your presentation. And you know what? Chances are nothing bad will happen because you will have practiced that delivery. You will have overcome your fear because you've done it so often, it's second nature, and nothing bad is going to happen, and you will have overcome that fear. And if something does go wrong, well, So what? You will eventually get better with practice because, like the old saying goes, practice makes perfect. Of course, if you're feeling really brave, you might take the stage at an open mic night at your local comedy club and get used to people laughing and shouting at you. Terrifying? You bet. Physically harmful or mentally scarring? Nope, not at all. And when you've done it, and when you're used to people shouting and heckling, and you know that nothing bad happens to you, you'll lose that fear and you'll be able to speak with confidence in front of anyone you like. So that's just one example of overcoming your fears through fear setting. And whatever you're afraid of, just think it through. Think of ways that you can overcome it. Think of ways to face it. Don't hide from it. Don't hide from your fears, because those fears will just feed upon themselves. And once you've overcome your fears, you can go on to achieve great things.